Today I wanted to do something a little different.
You just try and stop me.
Asteroid, yeah. Today we're going to build a ship, but instead of it being the usual side of the modifying the Kepler-T, why is grav drive full? I hate it when the game does this. Right, there we go. That's adjusted just as we're coming into crash. Instead of doing the usual single-man starfighter, but building out to compromise and function within Starfield, we're going to build something a little bigger. We're actually going to build a warship.
Procedure is complete.
And we're here at the Stroud-Eklund facility near Crete, which is where my outpost is, as I'm sure you guys know. My shipbuilding outpost is. We're going to pick up some parts.
Proud of what his company has accomplished.
And then we're going to...
Of course.
To build this thing. I think I can build this thing. It wouldn't be the first time I've started recording a shipbuilding video and then had to cancel it and get rid of the idea because it just doesn't work within the realms of this game. We're going to take the dagger. When we infiltrate the Crimson Fleet, when we finally get there, we're going to do it in this beautiful thing. I am going to tweak this because I like the build, but I want to personalise it a little bit before we go. But that's not why we're here. We're doing something else today. We're doing a brand new build. We're going to build over the dagger just because the name kind of works and I'm not going to use this for anything else. So I figured we would do this, and I just wanted to see what Stroud actually have. I don't know if I can get that. I can get that. It's more cockpit. Potentially cockpit. How do you get into that? You climb a ladder. I personally don't like that. That would really bug me. Yeah, it would really bug me. Maybe we go with the Viking then. Because the Viking sort of works. That's the best for... What's the other one? Oh, it's just the Viking? Yeah, okay, maybe we go with the Viking. Can I put you somewhere? Yeah, okay. And there are other bits that I think I need, but I think that they were actually... It's not Docker. I think they were Teo. And I don't have access to them. I do, again, I want some 2x2s, but it doesn't have to be these. I am going to take that bridge. And then I'm going to bounce across to Teo over at Neon and get some other bits. And then we'll reconvene at the shipyard and we'll start to plan this out and see how we do. Is probably going to be the easiest way. So next shot you'll see is me over on Crete. God, I hope this works. I've just left Neon 230 something thousand credits poorer. But we've started changing the dagger into the U.S.S. Defiant. And boy, is this going to be expensive. But this is... I hate that your ship doesn't show up here. It's one of those ships that I've always thought is really cool, and you can see it starting to take shape here. Obviously with the old dagger bolted on, because I might want some of these bits. I probably don't. In fact, I might want that, but everything else can probably go at this point. Yeah. because I'd put different... The ships that we're building are very different. So it's starting to take shape. Now let's just get you out of the way. It's starting to take shape. So what I'm really doing is just trying to figure out what goes where and how we do it. First thing that we need is some sort of what are they called? Bays. I'm probably gonna go with that. I don't think I can fit that in anywhere. Can I? What if we lift you up a bit? Is it too jarring? It's not really. I just don't love it. So we're not going to use that bait. We'll use the good old classic. And you will come up and slot back in there. So the only bits that are really set in stone at this moment in time is these engines, which are basically going to be the warp nacelles. And in fact, let's just have one of you. We'll finish this engine off. No, I want you on there. And again, we will take that. I have extra engines if we need them, because I can't remember what engines I have access to on this. So they're there. I've got our 40 power reactor. We're going Class C on this. It's a big ship, so we need the power kick. This is a Class C jump drive. It has 50 jump thrusts. Like, I don't really pay attention to jump drives. They're just things at this point. But what I figured we'd do, because of the nature of this craft is really a warship, it's not built for comfort. But the tile stuff is nice, and I was hoping to have like the top and the bottom as the curved, and have a couple of 3x3s that I can put on the top and the bottom just to finish it off. I can't. There isn't any 3x3s, and you can't have them with the nice curved edges by having a couple of 3x1s, 2x1s or 2x2s. Doesn't really work. So we've got engineering because it's Star Trek. You need an engineering section. We've got a brig, which is probably just going to be the bit that the bay connects to so that you can enter and move around the ship. We can actually just sort of pull these apart because this is not, by no means is it set. Captain's quarters. Obviously the captain always has a ready room as well. So this ship is really probably going to be on 2 levels, but the structural stuff is going to build it up to a bit more of a peak. Then this bridge, because if you know the Defiant, the cockpit hangs over the front. It is like, it's not necessarily the bridge, it's not really a cockpit, it's just like a face plate. They really wanted a different design to what the Enterprises had been previously. And they wanted a warship and something smaller. So to make it different, they had this front nose. Well, this is going to have to be a cockpit, but, you know, there is a bridge. Where's the bridge? There we go, the battle station. That's our bridge. So this has got loads of crew. It's probably going to have loads of passengers. I'm probably going to stick a load of 2x1s in as well, just to pad things out a little bit, because, again, much like the Kepler T, which was a redesign of the Kepler R, I think was my variant that I didn't love. This is again meant to be a multi-purpose ship. It is primarily a warbird, but it's also going to have all the bells and whistles that I feel that my ships in Starfield need. And we have loads of crew space with this and the battle station. That puts us up to 10, which is more than we'd ever need. So that's all good, that's all positive. Let's flip you around. Let's stick you on the brig. The question is, how do we build this up? Because I'm at a bit of a loss. I know what I want it to look like. I'm pretty sure I can make it look like that. But the problem is actually doing it. How much fuel is in there? There's a 650. That's a 650. Right, so we'll have one of them, and that can be opposite the reactor. And of course, Star Trek as well, there's always a warp reactor, so yeah, that needs to be near engineering. And we're obviously going to have cargo. I'm just looking at some pictures of it now on my other screen. I love this ship. It's such a cool design. The nacelles are quite stocky as well, so that kind of works. Maybe not with those, but that design does sort of work. We're not going to be able to angle it. It's not going to be perfect. To be honest, this is Starfield. We're kind of winging it a little bit here. And it has a pretty nice... Go back to that. So brig connects there, engineering. That was the captain's quarters. So everything else I kind of want on this level. It just depends how it fits in. So that's engineering. So what if we have the grav drive off the back of engineering, right? Sorry, the reactor, and then the grav drive can be on there. So this would be a 5. Down to a 3. So that could go there. Down to a 1, just for a basic shape. Maybe. I definitely want that as a 5. But then that's connecting onto engineering. I don't necessarily think that's what I want right now. I'd rather have that connecting onto battle stations. So what if... Doesn't give me any other options, I have to have the all-in-one. That's fine. So we have the cockpit connecting through battle stations. That's basically our bridge. We've got helm and we've got battle stations. So that's basically what our bridge is. And it gives us the nose cone, and then we've got our 5 because it's thicker at the front. The all-in-one will be fine. There'll be room for people to sleep and things. That's. I don't think there's a huge difference between all-in-one and a living quarters. Function-wise, maybe that has a research station in it. I'm not entirely sure. And then the captain's ready room just off the bridge, as is with the Enterprise. All right, I'm pulling from other Star Trek things, but it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. So this, then, we're padding this out to be a 3. And we may as well stick with the mid-5. Yeah? Why can I not see? There we go, mid. So let's have an armory. And then let's have an infirmary, because I'm pretty sure there's an infirmary on the Defiant. That's engineering there. You don't actually access the reactor. So the reactor could probably go there. Kind of want... Let's put you there. You do come in from the back, don't you? Yes, you do. So that's fine. We're at 35. We're not going to get any bigger, so that's okay. That works. And I think this isn't quite... I mean, let's call this Starfield accurate, shall we? That really it wants to be a 2, but I can't get it down to a 2. Unless that's a 6, but that can't be a 6 because I want that in the middle. And that stuff's kind of okay there, to be honest. Brig. That can just go there, that's fine. I'm not attaching them. 48, oh, we're well within. Well within. It is fairly wide as well, isn't it? It's a big little ship. So we're down to 33. I think that's alright for the back end. I think that's probably okay. We're going to be around 33 for the side as well, so that's probably quite accurate. Now we need to look at... I do want a shield. Do we... Do we just bite the bullet and have that? That can go on the top. Because there is the bridge, the circular bridge ring, that could resemble that. That might work. The bottom is fine to be empty. I mean, I'm just thinking, what if... I mean, that connects through engineering there, but what if... I'm just thinking, do we move that further forward? I don't think it really matters. But then I'm thinking, do I even need a brig? Because I could get rid of that. I don't think it matters. We want that as a 3. Coming down to a 1 is probably a bit too much. I think. Yeah, no, that's fine as it is. We'll have a brig. I mean, I'm guessing that I'm not that far into the season where the Defiant comes into it in DS9, but I'm guessing that there's a brig or a holding area or something. So really what we want to be looking at is how all this connects. I probably want to expand you out a little. Because I think I can get away with it. in these. Just thinking, could that be a 3 and then a no, because that would make it too big. I mean, probably they are about there. They're more angled, but you can't have a triangled connection, an angle connection of any kind with this. So that's probably how it's going to have to be. What really comes into play is how we connect them up. And I'd even argue that we don't have them. Let's just chuck you on there for a second, just so you're out the way. Really, I need my structural stuff. And looking at the wings... Not the wings, the nacelles. That probably makes them too big. Yeah, I think that's the best we're gonna get, looking at the design of them. I don't think that's too bad. Bear in mind this is Starfield, not Star Trek. Just to have some sort of something. That might move. It wasn't that, was it? It was... that. I was potentially going to do something like that, but I don't... I think we're back to the good old Stroud caps. Actually. Doesn't fit. Oh, would that be better? How angular? The engines are quite angular, aren't they? That's forward sensors. Nothing wants to fit, does it? Right, let's stick with that because that works. For whatever reason, that works. The problem I have now is how this all links in. I think we're going to have to make that bridge slightly longer. Or... what are you? You're just an all-in-one. So... what if I had two of them? Probably need a science, don't we? I don't know how many passengers we can take on this. Passengers. 2. I wish there was a piece that would just make a nice little finisher. Because that I don't mind. That kind of gives you the illusion of the engines, and I can even... probably get away with that. The problem is, what goes in there? What are we playing with here? It is just a... it's a... You would never let me have... that, would you? And then fill in the blank. Maybe it's more circular than that, though. But I haven't got anything... I've got some nice pieces. Can I flip that? Not the way I want. Although I will keep one of them out for potential future. Is there any way... What about something like that? Is that... Suppose that works. It's too much. No, it's too much. Again, that's another really nice piece, but I just don't know where I'd use it. Then the question is, where do you go from there? You know what would be a really good piece to complement that with? That piece that's right next to me. That, if it just flipped round the other way. Could we get away with... No, absolutely not. There has to be something. Not you. You. It's a bit tenuous. It is a bit tenuous. There's no way of connecting you on anywhere, is there? If... Give me another one of them. Give me that. Oh, it's probably as close as I'm ever gonna get. Two angle. I want it circular, not angular like that, but I don't necessarily hate that. But it's, again, it's the same problem. What if I'm going about this the wrong way? Oh, it's still far too angular, but it might work. No, that's too far. So let's get rid of you. We'll chuck the shield on there. Let's get rid of you. Let's have a little middle companionway. Stick you there. Move you back there. Get rid of you. Then we can put you there. Put you there. Get rid of them for now. Probably the closest I'm going to get with this being Starfield, isn't it? And then we've not even started looking at the back end yet. I don't think I need them there. But they could certainly go down there. I think that should be a 1x1. We don't need a brig. I do want this to connect to things. So it would be that one. Well, I guess you could be the armory. That doesn't work for me. Sticks out too far, doesn't it? Which isn't a problem. No, it is a problem. This is tougher than I was expecting. I knew I wouldn't get a perfect circle. Or semicircle. I guess it's kind of close. If I was a smart man, I'd have made these tops. But then we've still got to fill in this area. What are you saying? What if? Big question. What if? Just makes sense to me to have the grav drive there. And that is because that could shunt further forward. Where's the front of engineering? Sorry, the back of engineering. The back of engineering is there, so that would work. And that would work. The grav drive can be at the back there. What I'd then probably do is just slap the engines down here. Just because I wanted some extra engines to keep the speed up. So... where's them Demos bits? I'm going more for that slimming down profile. I'd love to have these tucked away in the middle of the ship or something. This doesn't help anything, does it? In fact, that might actually be better, because that would... that would pull them all in, whereas that's only a little one. And then we can have the little one there shouldn't really be a gap here. Then it does cut in at the back, but it cuts in twice. But I'm willing to... I wonder it cuts in twice. Let's get rid of you. No, I'm alright with that. As long as we try and keep this profile, I'm alright with that. The problem now is filling this in. I mean, actually, might not really be a problem. It is quite flat though, it's quite squashed. What if we completely change this idea around? We lift that up. Bring me everything that's under this. Let's just do it that way. That's just going to be easier, isn't it? Get you out of the way. Let's get you out of the way. So you now need to be on that level. You don't interact well with that bridge. This is definitely a... and that doesn't interact with anything either. This is definitely something that isn't quite how I was expecting things to go. It's not a bad thing. I'm sort of thinking... what am I sort of thinking? Well, that's the armory. The engines are quite short. That's probably the right size for this ship. I'm sort of thinking, what if we didn't? We need an engineering. We absolutely need an engineering. I'm going to assume that's connected where I want it. No, it isn't. That can go there. So we need to... that doesn't connect on there. That doesn't connect on there. Does anything connect? That probably does. Not really what I wanted, though. It's a lot flatter than I wanted. It's, like I've said, it's a flat ship, so that sort of works. But I can't put that on. Actually I can. It's not as curved. It's not as curved. But what if? Just go with it. It's what curves out on that bit. That's really the big question. Because that... it's not really ideal. That doesn't work too badly, but it's how do you curve this bit. What size are we at? We're at 39, so we can't go any further out anyway. Let's put you on there. And let's take these two. Put you there. Again, that's not really accurate. We have 2 armories, so that can go. What I want is... It doesn't really work either. I want big, flat, square bits. Potentially an angle at the front. And then, I mean, maybe that. That's a 2 though. Looking at it. How would that work? It wouldn't. No. Piss off. These shields are really hard to pick up. Well, the shield could... Oh, shield. We'll go there. We could have a gun on there. We don't need them. It's not going to like that, is it? Oh, it does. That's completely wrong though. That's upside down. The engines need to be lower. The engines absolutely have to be lower. Because they're angled and they're lower. Well, we can't do the angled bit, but we can make it lower. Which completely throws that out. We could just have a companionway. The bottom. I don't think anything needs to connect onto it, but just in case. Yeah. Kind of okay with that. I'm kind of okay with that being about. It doesn't have engines there, but there isn't really much else and they kind of fit. I'm kind of okay with that. We have fuel, I just don't like the front. I'm going back to these. Structural. It's so restrictive. Come on. But even then, that doesn't... Oh. Oh. You know what would work, though? I've just realised how little grav fuel they have. They're utter shit. Could I get away with that? Could get away with them. Oh. Oh. Again, it's Starfieldification, but that sort of works. Push. You do have bits like that though, don't you? So that. All I'm thinking is just pulling it in a little bit. Oh, why does it have to be that long? No. That's oh, that's so ridiculous. Really, that should be over there. Go away. No. I mean... I'm kind of struggling with this now. It's not being as round as I want, although the back's probably alright actually. It's not perfect, but the back's probably alright. The problem is, I need things like... I can't even see them. I mean, that does sort of work for the back. Because it does... The engines are... They angle in, like really this hub wants to angle in a bit so that the engines can angle in a little bit. That's not awful, and then it comes in there, and then that's not awful. But the problem is, what do you fill the top with? Because there isn't really anything that actually works together. And there isn't really anything that gives me the curve of what I actually want. That's too much. Which looks better. It isn't going to be perfect. This is Starfield, let's be honest. I mean, that companionway... doesn't necessarily link into anything, so... that would give it some curve. Let's zoom way out. Way out. If I could, from there, if that was just a little bit more circular. That's actually an impressive zoom out. The engine's circled in, but then from there, could maybe do... I always go past it first time. No. No. Although what I didn't mind is that, and then let's just shunt you forward. I didn't mind that, but it's very angular. There just isn't enough bits. You could say that about all of Starfield, to be honest. There's too much crap of one thing and not enough crap of another thing. That bit. That kind of works. But then it's what do you do? It's not perfect, but that kind of works. But then what do you do in this bit? From that angle, I don't hate it. And if we're pulling the engines forward, which makes sense, how do we fill this bit? Because there isn't really anything that would... I don't hate them on there. Potentially. How do we fill... Can't disguise that in any way, can we? It's too far out. I feel like we're getting there, though. I feel like this was a very tough ask. That potentially work. It's just a shame you can't inch that out a little bit to get it to fit, but then it's not circular though. It might be the closest we're going to get to it. Let's just chuck you there for a minute. Let's get rid of them. No. Go back. If we pull the engines forward like I want, that doesn't fit, does it? Not sold on it anyway. I just don't like this giant gaping hole that we have in the ship. But what if, instead of trying to force... Oh yeah. Instead of trying to force these level, what if these... are on there? Not there. I'd need something in there. We need to tidy up the underneath. It's not the worst thing that we could do. Then something like... that down there. We might be getting somewhere with this. I have no idea where the weapons are going to go. It's not... These are so tough, these shields, to pick up. We don't have a straight though, do we? We might be getting somewhere here, you know? Oh, no, not them. Where are them little stroudy bits? In fact, there's the other way one of them. Get rid of that. Let's have one of you. And then... yeah, these. If it's that one, we can put weapons on them, potentially. And we could even... that didn't fit. They don't need to be that. It could be that. And then that becomes... I cannot believe I am padding this out with braces. After the Kepler R and slamming the Kepler R, but it does give us a lot of hull. So that sort of fits with the engines. So the engines, and then it cuts in. And then it cuts in. And what we just do is... stick them on there just so it's not quite as... but it more accentuates it, doesn't it? could even do that, because the engines don't need to be that big. And then we can add, underneath, we can add struts and things. Because that needs finishing off. So if we did do that, it is a very flat ship. Like, it is very flat. I mean, we could even... As much as I sort of like how that cuts in... I mean, what gun's on there? We can put guns along there as well. I would like the shield there to resemble the circular bridge, which is more in line with the front of the engines. So it would be there. It's not big enough, but that would sort of work. Oh, that's a 2. Wouldn't fit anywhere. She's heavy. We haven't even got any cargo on yet, so let's get some cargo on. We're going to have to look at these engines as well, I think. Looking at it, I'd be okay with that. Let's chuck you there, I'd be okay with that. We'll get rid of you. Go back underneath. I mean, I'm not that worried about speed. There is a lot to this, isn't there? So just hiding that under there. What does it look like underneath? The engines are... It's very flat, isn't it? There. So one of them, if I do that, what is this actually colouring? The inside. Let's have them again and let's see if we can do something with the... That'll do. They have warp nacelles, they have red at the front and they have blue at the back. Just a nice little glow. So I'm just trying to accentuate that, maybe do that a little. Right. Let's have you black, colour 1. Let's have you grey. There isn't a colour 3. We'll just have to go with that. That's not bad. It looks like a mess from the back end there. And the engines aren't ideal. I might have to go with C's. Didn't like that, did it? It really didn't like that. Mobility 17. They're probably the best I've got. It's all the crap that's been thrown on it. That's where the weight's coming from. Because each of these is 5. It's kind of a killer. You know what I'm like about my mobility as well. Right, let's just... I don't think it matters. 312. No. What if? Get rid of you. Get rid of you. It's not a lot of cargo, but I am trying to live with less cargo. I'm just looking at the pictures of it. And it is super flat. Like, that is probably quite accurate. In fact... Didn't expect that to help, but that finishes it off a little better. I just hate all of this wasted space at the top. Is there really nothing that we could do about that? I've still not added any weapons yet. Come on, structural brain, get in gear. There isn't, is there? I mean, that is 5. That's 4. Then that isn't going to go anywhere. I mean, that can go on there. But they match in so well. Oh. Oh. We have bits. I don't know if this is going to make it any lighter, but it might make it a bit more pleasing to look at. That's a bit of a problem. We can leave that like that. Then we'd be getting rid of that. And I don't necessarily want to do that. What other options have you got? You haven't got any other options. It kind of works. Like, looking at the actual model. There we go, that piece. So looking at the model, and I've only got pictures, I haven't got the actual thing, but the wing does flare up, and now I can't do that with this because that doesn't connect onto there, but we can kind of force it. And it doesn't make a lot of difference. Doesn't make a lot of difference at all. Actually, it looks progressively worse. But it's cool that you can do that. I don't know what you'd do that for, and I don't know why you'd have it like that. Yeah, so that all can go. Oh, not that bit. We need that bit. I mean, the other option is... So they're 5 each. That's 10 for a 3 block. And then we've got something like, I'm guessing that's quite light. That's, I mean, again, that's 10. Did we have it like that? I think we did, didn't we? Yeah, we did. And then it was one of them. It apparently wasn't. But they're 5. $96 is okay. It's just going to cost a good chunk of weight to fill that in. does it need to be filled in? Can we not just run spining down it to make it look a bit different? What if I'm just playing around with things now just to see what looks like with what? It would be nice to put that engine on there. '96 is very good. I'm not sold on that massively. Get rid of that. We may as well just take that. That covers it. That should be more pronounced. I mean, it's getting better, but it's not really going to get much better. Out of interest, where are they? Because everything else is done, it's just getting this to look like something. We're on 96. It only takes us down to 95. It gives us a bit of detailing. It gives us a solid spine. Yes, we need to get weapons on. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad at all. It's not perfect, but like I've said numerous times, it's the Starfieldification of the is it U.S.S? U.S.S? Is it United Systems Starfleet or something? I don't know what U.S.S stands for. I've watched 7 seasons of TNG recently. I would love that to be slightly more angled. Problem is I want to put weapons on there, so I don't want to add anything to it. It does have a massive gaping belly. That's part of the design. The engines are probably that wide, but they look about right there, and they do connect. I think that might be it. God, it feels like it's taken forever to get there. I think that might be our Defiant. Yeah, that's better as well. Wait, piece by piece we're getting there. Right, select everything. It has, like, blue on it. And it's not that bright. Well, the picture that I'm looking at it is... it's not purple. It's definitely a blue. Drop the saturation down. God, that's slow. Is it because we've got so many bits? Right, accept that because it's doing too much. Here's something else that we can change. Let's just get them out of the way, shall we? Oh, where's my thing gone? Right, okay. So that's... yeah, that's better. That hides... in fact, we can even do a better job than that. Tuck them in there. Yep, nice. And then all I want to do is add that bit of red to these. I don't know which colour it was. Was it colour 2? To the internal, wasn't it? Did we do colour 3 as well? It does have a bit of red running along the... it has like a really thin red stripe running down it. We'll go with that. I don't think the blue's right, but we'll go with that. I think that's as close as I'm going to get it. Here we have the U.S.S. Defiant. The most mobile ship... not in our fleet, but the most mobile ship in Starfleet at the time it was created. I never knew it was created as a Borg hunter, which is infinitely cool. So we can put big weapons on it. That's a fire rate of 4. It does decent damage. Let's have 2 of these. On there, just to give it something that hits, and I want my usual. Actually, because this is a C, where's my beautiful 6 point? Oh, that's an A. I think it is that one though, isn't it? We want proton beam to... I don't know, act like phasers, I guess. So the phaser strips with these ships is along the... it's usually a circular... I mean, you probably know this. Circular thing along the... can we put that on an engine? No. It's like a circle that runs around, so I was hoping to get all 6 on a circle. I can't. Unless, back into structural, I can put equipment plates in places that I didn't know existed. That should be, yeah, so that would have one. And that could have one, and they're not going to shoot each other off, are they? No, we should be okay with that. What power are they? Total power 3, so that's 6. Is that right? So they hit on a 4. The C is all the way down here, isn't it? We want 3,000. I mean, we could have missiles for photon torpedoes. Actually, that's better. Ship has too few landing gears, and ship has too much power for weapons. Because they're power 4. Well, that's okay. They're different weapons. Why can I not run? Why can I... Oh, they're power 4. I get you. Yeah, I understand now. It's power 4, everyone. Power 4. Wait, are they the fast-firing ones? Where are my Vanguard 6 shooters? Wait, what's that? Well, that's slower. So I can have 3 of them. I can have 6 of them. I can have 6 of them, right? I can have 6 of them. Oh, no, right. Let's just go. With 1, 2. Get rid of you. That's a fast firing. Right, so we have no weapons. 3. 4. These are emulating our phasers. 5. And 6. So, you are going to be in there. And then, let's have something hard hitting of a higher let's have their max power 3. Let's have 2 of them, and we'll slap you on there. What's your error now? Landing gears, that's fine. let's have... We're having it all today. What's that? That's a power 4. The chances of me using it are very slim. No, let's just go with that. Are we good? Are you gonna let me have that? I hate that gear. I really hate that gear. Best I've got. Tell you what then, let's lap it in the middle so it's hidden, I don't have to look at it. Okay, are we there? Are we ready to test this out? We are on B engines. Yes, we are. Weapons are locked. Weapons are locked. This is our Defiant. It isn't perfect. I thought we would get it better than this, honestly, but I'm still quite happy with how we've done it. And if you squint, when you look at the profile of the ships together, they kind of work, and it does have... Oh, I thought that was forward sensors. Hold on, what does forward sensors look like? We do have forward... Something has forward sensors. Hope Tech. Is it Teo? It might be Teo. Yeah, I'm not going to get that to fit, am I? Oh, actually, I can... We're getting messy now. It hides that monstrosity of a strut. I think we need to have a look at the inside. Jesus, this has been such a long one. I really thought that these... I don't know why I thought it, because it's obvious they don't when you look at them. But I really thought that these would sort of connect better in more of a circular fashion, or you'd be able to put... No. No. We tried, it didn't work. I mean, that sort of... It sort of works. It sort of works. This is the problem. But then from the front, it... Do I really want to do this? I'd need 2 equipment plates. Equipment plate. Does it work? It doesn't, does it? Looking at the front... Oh no, it's got to be angular. I take it back. It might be a while before we get back to that point, but it's... Yes, it works if all you're going for is a circle. But we're not just going for a circle here. We're going for an overall shape for the whole thing, not just the top down. And that is better. It's not perfect, but that's better than having them stacked on top of each other. Although... I can't flip that because that's on it, right? I'm not getting rid of these. I'm just seeing how this looks. I like it and I don't. Ideally, it wants to be pushed further back. But then there's no real benefit. Stop it. Stop it. You do this every time. You come up with an idea, and then you tweak it at the last minute, and it's never going to be perfect because you can't get the angles anyway. I'm happy with that. I think it looks kind of cool. I don't know how it's going to fly. I don't know how it's going to be on the insides. I just don't. It doesn't have a lot of cargo either. But let's roll with it. Let's buy it. Let's go and have a look at the inside. Let's see what it's like on the... I need to make it my home ship, don't I? Go and see what it's like on the platform. The guns are maybe too much, but you need more than just the fast firing. That's probably too much as well. I really don't mind these engines. All those struts, actually, they're not terrible. Yeah, I really don't mind that engine setup. This is fine. That's probably always going to be fine because we're under 40 meters and it's at the back anyway. Why is it always dark when we do this? I don't mind all of this. The real question is going to be when we're up here and it's flying. I don't think it looks that bad. I think the engines work. They finish it off nicely. They shouldn't be there, but because I had extra power for engines, I think that works. So we come in, we have just this one cabin down here with our docker underneath, which is fine, and then we come up to engineering. So we've got a little engineering console there. That's where Chief O'Brien would sit. So we have a door here. Takes us to sick bay. Okay. Right. That's the middle, isn't it? It's because that's connected there. That takes us to sick bay. And then we go through here into... all in one, right? But it's got a galley kitchen. And then we go into another all-in-one. And then we have our battle station.
Weird. I was just thinking. Well, never mind.
That could have been a door.
Hey.
Armory. This is... engineering should connect to that. It's probably how I've put the habs on. This is the captain's quarters.
Man, the galaxy's too big to be stuck in the same place.
Yeah, it's quite messy.
Turn off the grav drive so we can float around.
But I see why it does it like that, because it doesn't want to block that off and that off. So, I don't know how I'd fix that. Do we not have workbenches either? Apparently we don't have a workbench. Well, that would be the next step. The habs need redesigning. So how the habs are placed needs redesigning. I'm not going to go over that now because I need to figure it out, and we're already almost 2 hours.
Just say the word.
Let's see how she flies, because this might be chalking up as a failure. Let's see her take off.
We're clear.
We could probably get more weapons on it as well. I feel like this is chalking up as a failure.
Aim point reached. Orbit stable.
Wow. That's right in an asteroid, almost. Right, let's sort this power out. We have 4 left. Actually, that's okay. Doesn't look too bad. It's the central weapons. Oh, I like the spread. I really like that spread. What's the recharge like? I can see it's running out. I'm not sold on the underbelly at all, even though it is probably quite accurate. What happens if we get in a fight? Is there any kind of... This place is a high level. I really like the engine setup. This is the problem with building ships in Starfield when you have an idea of... Come on, pirates. When you have an idea of a ship design that you want to build and then you try and follow that as closely as possible.
This is gonna be good.
Here we go. So we have a couple of spacer jackals and about half my level. I mean that spread.
Target spread drive is down.
Ouch.
So sorry.
Let's see our dogfight missing.
That spread is kind of like how I would want them to be as phases.
So, I hear you've been making yourself pretty useful around the ship, Cora.
I kind of like this.
I want to be as good a co-pilot for the captain as I am for you.
Definitely does damage.
I'm proud of you. What do you say we get you a new outfit next time we're planetside?
Where did the hull damage come
It still
from?
fits, Dad. And I love it. Now, a new book.
Is that because I haven't repaired it from the dagger? Quite possibly when we stole the dagger. The shield felt chunky. I don't think anything got through. The weapons feel really good. And the spread is wonderful. I kind of like the engine configuration. Obviously the engines at the back aren't ideal, but that's just how it works with the design of the ship. I don't think this is that bad. And probably like all of my ship builds, it's going to grow on me. I just don't see myself using it all that much. I don't think I'm even hitting that. I think it's too far away. I don't need iron. I don't think I need iron. Yeah, I mean, it's... I'm on the fence, but I don't mind it. I quite like the lights there. On the struts that tie everything in. It kind of works. I'm not as anti it as I thought I would be. But let me know what you think in the comments. I don't think it's the best build. And I've certainly come in with it's a design that, it's a ship I love, but I don't know enough about it. Whereas the Star Wars ships I tend to know quite a lot because I've grown up with Star Wars, whereas Star Trek I was into it a bit and then I wasn't, and then I was, and then I wasn't, and I've never really looked deeply into it. It's only recently, sort of now, that I've taken the time to watch them, that they're on Netflix. You couldn't make an Enterprise. I mean, you probably could if you were disciplined, and I'm not disciplined. I thought this would work, and it does. It ticks most of the boxes. With a few liberties taken, obviously. It's Starfield shipbuilding. One of the DLC things I'd love them to do, and it's probably for modders to do, and hopefully it comes to Xbox at some point, we need ship parts that let you do like semicircles and have more curve than the sharp angles that all of this stuff has. I don't know why that's something that's just missing. And I'd love to see more variation in the ship, like the structural ship parts. I'd also love them to weigh less, so it doesn't feel like you're actually actively wasting by making your ship look nice. But it flies well. Alright, it's a Class C with Class B engines. It's not the fastest thing in the world. But it's not designed to be a single-man super-fast fighter. And this flying through the asteroid, it feels quite nice. Like, I'm not against it. It's quite responsive. It's got a nice trail to it. I really like how they fire. That's a crash. I like how the 6 cannons on the front, you can actually see them. So that's the underslung, slower firing ones. But those, I mean, that spread is just, it looks angry. So yeah, I'm happy with this. I feel like I'm trying to talk myself into it, and I don't think I am, because I do like it. I'd probably tweak a lot of the habs if I was going to do this again. In fact, let's do a part 2 where we do tweak the habs. And it clearly doesn't have to be Teo or anything like that. Yeah, but let me know what you think in the comments. Have I done the Defiant justice? Because it's a beautiful ship. I don't know the story of it. As I say, I'm only on DS9 Season 3. They've only just got the Defiant, so I'm still learning about it. In fact, if you really want to know where I am, the last episode I watched was when the Defiant was, let's just say, out for a joyride. So that's where I am, and I'm still learning about the ship. But I think it's my favourite Star Trek ship, certainly my favourite design, and I really wanted to make it in Starfield. So let me know. And also, what would be really cool if you've watched this and you've got to this point. I do like to know if people do watch all of the video, because obviously I get analytics, but I don't know who's actually seen what. If you have watched it all, and if you do know the Defiant, have I done it justice? And if you've played Starfield and built your own ships, what can I do to make it look more Defiant-y? Let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.